Good evening and welcome to today's daily market update from Time Price Analysis. This is being recorded on the evening of Thursday, February the 8th. S&P 500 daily chart. We're now having to question whether this A wave is actually in. This is the daily chart. The reason for that, if we look at this chart here, we came down, we took out the cash low here from the other day, and I can't decide if I look at the S&P 500. I can count a 1, 2, 3, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside the 3, A, B, C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into today's close. And is that the A wave in the cash market? If I come over and look at the ES, and you can see here that the low was overnight over here down at 25.29, which we didn't see in the cash market. We've got this move back up here, which I was thinking was the A wave of a larger B wave up. Then today we've had this A, B, C pattern play out, and if I take the length of this A wave, project it off the top of the B, it came down to the 138.2 into the close, which was also the 764 retrace. And we saw that it didn't quite hit it, but as near as damn it, literally on the closing bell. And then within 90 seconds of that closing bell, the ES had jumped 17 points. So that could be short covering. It could be indicative that this low's in here and we have a different pattern in the cash market to the futures market. And if that's the case, then the projection would be up here to the 2803 area, 2775 to 2803. And I've got no way of determining between those two counts whatsoever at the moment. We just simply need to go through more price action. It is exceptionally volatile out there. We made over 40 points that we called in the room today, day trading this thing, starting with a short trade this morning. We came down and then up and hit our blue line to the penny, which gave us a lovely short trade. And then from there, we had various intraday scalps to the long and short side. Didn't get the trade into the close, unfortunately. We were looking for the next level up to hold, which was this 1.0 extension here, and actually took a long trade on that spike and reversal through it, and ended up giving back 3 points to the market. So, and that's all you can give these things, is a couple of points and to play with much smaller stakes than normal. So 40 points sounds great, but it would be exceptional if it was at full stakes. But there's no way it makes any sense to do that in this market. Quick look at one other setup that we traded today in the room. This is CL, and it's come down, as you can see, to this 2.0, giving us another move back up, and is still extending to the downside. Now, I chose to take some profits in SCO today, took half of the position off the table, while the second tranche was in profit. And the reason for that was up here. We looked like we were getting a 1, 2, 3, and we should have got a 4, 5. Well, we kind of did, except it turned into a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we got this overlap. So when I saw the overlap, I took the profits on one half of SCO. So I'm still just holding half a position short on SCO now. And that second tranche that was the earlier one entered is now well into profit as well. But the day trades, there were 2 trades off this orange line today, the second of which gave us a whole full dollar, 100 points of profit. And the other trade today was this one off the blue line here. So we came down through it, retest effectively, but as we came through it the second time, you took the trade all the way down to this blue line here. So an exceptional day all round in the trading room. That was off the back of over 100 points in the DAX this morning and 50 points in the FTSE. Those charts are posted in the forum, marked up, and I think they're posted on social media somewhere as well if you wanted to look at them. So you can make an extremely handsome return in this market, but you do have to be extremely nimble to do so. Coming back to tonight's main video, and moving on now, if this is the bottom of the A wave, then we should get this B back now, and that would start to sink the futures and the cash market up. However, NDX, if I just come down to the hourly chart, you can see we took the cash low out by some considerable margin in the NDX. And I can't really, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not really right. I think we may have an A, B, and we're coming down here to this 1.0 extension in the NDX at 6063. So that's kind of contradicts what I'm looking at in the S&P 500. They don't have to trade in tandem on this kind of fractal, but that's what I've got. It would also give us a divergent low between the A and the C in all probability, depending on how this pans out. So that's what I've got. Again, nothing definitive other than day trades, really. There's no swing available as yet. Nothing I do in the options market either. I did do quite a full presentation on trading options and short-term ETFs today. Didn't record it in the room, mainly because I neglected to hit the record button, I'm afraid. But I am going to record it properly, probably at the weekend, and get it out onto the site, into the education section permanently. And then we'll do a follow-on one next week, which I will try and remember to record, but all of them will be recorded properly. And then all of the slides from the presentation will be PDF'd and made available if you want them. Okay, moving on and looking at the Dow Jones Industrial, same thing. Is the A wave in? Now, if I come down to the hourly, we didn't make a new low in the cash market. We come through that 886 fib, so it's suggestive that we're going to. And then I'd be torn with the pattern between the pattern in the S&P, i.e. we just drop slightly lower for a fifth, or and it would be a very disproportionate, you know, move down. Maybe there's something of a diagonal in the middle of that somewhere. It's really difficult to tell because of the vertical drop. I suspect it's more likely if we take the low out that we're in the same pattern as in the NASDAQ and become quite a bit lower before we start the B wave back up. But again, I have no real edge here in terms of knowing which. So for those of you that trade the Dow Jones, again, I'll put the day trading charts out as we have been, and you have to just be nimble and intraday trade it until we have something that sets up in a swing. Sorry, going back to options, the reason for not trading options, the implied volatility is through the roof. You're just going to pay through the nose for premium, and even if you're right, it's going to be a struggle to get out of your contracts for decent money. So leaving those alone for the swing as well. Russell, same sort of thing. We didn't quite make the lower low in the Russell either, so it's mirroring the Dow. And it's a question of whether this holds tomorrow, and up we go. And I suspect it's going to be down to whether the ES futures hold that low made into the close today, and then we start to see a fairly significant move to the upside or not. Now, FTSE, same dilemma. A, we get a B, C, or is we come down to this 7018, which we're not far off now, and that's all of the four. Either way, I do think that's worth a shot at a swing long. Because, you know, trail stops up, especially for those of you in the UK that use spread bet accounts. Small stake and trail your stops up would be the way to deal with it. And again, you know, there's the top of the box. Does it drop down into it? Hourly chart 3, 4. We didn't take the low out yet, so we can still come up higher in the 4 and then down. So nothing from a swing trade till you hit this fib here, the 7018. If that holds, once it's bounced slightly, then you can take the trade and use that as your stop. German DAX, same thing. If we've got an ABC that's just about to finish for an A wave, then we get a B, C, or are we just going to come on down and hit this 138 here at 11,909, same area as or same level as the 4 of 1 lesser degree, And we, you know, 1, 2, I think I've put the count actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, drop down one more time. And we're certainly coming down somewhat strongly. 1, 2, this looks like a third down to me. So we'll see in the morning. We're close enough to finish this off this week. So let's see what the DAX has for us tomorrow. Now, commodities, CL is looking good for this being the top in now here. And if I just go straight to my 60-minute chart, I think this is the bottom of the 3 at the 2.0, and we have a 1, 2, and we're starting to accelerate down for this 5th, which should come down to 58.35. Now, if I see that, I will take profits on the other half of SCO because I don't want to sit through the 2. We're pretty much out of the deep water where a diagonal is concerned now, but we may need this 4, 5 if this is just an extension of the 3. So I think while we're above 59.84, I'd err towards this being the extension of the 3. Below that, and I think we're in the 5th down. So just need to keep an eye on that tomorrow and see if we want to make any adjustments to positioning going into the weekend. We do tend to get gaps in commodities on a Sunday night when the futures open into the Monday session. So let's see what that brings. Now, NG, I'm going to do the same as previous evenings and come across to my day trading chart, sorry, the charts for the March contract. We came down overnight, we hit this fib 26.82 and it held, and that was looking great. We've still got all these divergences going on here on this 2-hour chart, so everything looked absolutely hunky-dory. Bounced off nicely, and then we've broken down through all the fibs. We have held this last ditched area of support, and I have stayed long. It's a half position in DGAS, which I'm still holding. And I will decide whether I'm going to continue to hold that over the weekend tomorrow. As I said, the concern is we do get these blooming gaps on a Sunday night. DGAS is a 3 times leveraged ETF, so it's going to be much more painful if it starts to run against us than it was with SCO when we were underwater a little bit in that position before it came good. So still in it, and we'll relook at it again tomorrow. Precious metals and miners next. So GDX, I'm just going to go straight to the 240-minute chart. Now, is this B and we come up here? Or is something else playing out? And if I come down to the hourly chart, that doesn't help a lot either. I've either got an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3. Because of other indicators that we use, squeeze indicators and what have you, and some of the stuff that you'll see in the video from the options setups, I think we're going to get at least a substantial bounce in the GDX from here. It may only be as a 4, but a 4 can come up to 22.95. So I've taken a half position long in Nugget today, which is the 3 times long leveraged ETF on the GDX. And I think the entry was 23.84. There's a trade alert entry in the live trading room, and those stay up even when the room's closed if you need to go in and look at it. You'd probably get a fractionally better entry than that now, and you can buy it after hours if you haven't bought it already. So leverage long play to the upside, either for just a wave 4 up to here, so I will be trailing up and watching this as it goes up, or possibly quite a lot more. So, you know, if we get this up to 26, then that's going to be a fabulous trade. If this does go third, which I don't think that's what's about to happen, then obviously it'll be an enormous trade. But again, all those things we'll deal with is if and when they happen. In the meantime, I've got not a lot more clarity. While we're above 21.29, expecting further upside. Below that, then I have to reconsider. Silver. Just going to go straight to the 240-minute chart. Now, I did suggest that if you wanted to enter silver, I think it was at about where it's closed actually, 16.35 I think was when I flagged it this morning, then you could do so with a stop at 16.05 just below, which is the 786 retrace here, as an initial entry in case this is the low and off we go. I do think I haven't taken that. I think we're going to just drop down once more, and if we see that and it holds, I will take a long position in silver. Now gold's the one that's still causing issues. I have two potential counts in gold on the hourly time frame off the recent high, either an A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 into the 1.0, 4 back, hit the 618 today. We come down here next, 1302 to 1298. There is another way of counting this, which is over here, off the high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the A wave comes in here. A, B, C back, then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's complete into the 1618. I prefer the original count because we haven't hit a fib retrace. And in the original count that I've just shown you, we would come down here and hit this 50% retrace. And then the metals and miners would be aligned sort of to the upside. And that kind of makes a little bit more sense. So again, jury's out, and we need to see whether this low at 1309 holds, or whether we drop down here. I'd much prefer to see it drop down here to 1300, silver drop down to its 786. I'm not going to long both. I think I prefer to take the risk in silver rather than gold at this point in time. So that's what I'm likely to do. And I've already got some risk on the table with Nugget, remember. And finally, the currencies tonight. So if I come over and look at the US dollar, again, looking for confirmation that this 4 is in. Hourly chart, we've got the completion of this diagonal up into the 1618. Can get a final squiggle up to the 1764, but it's looking good as far as the diagonal ever does. Need to see whether it holds now a retrace against this move up. So we're looking at 88.90 to 89.25 to hold it, and then take this out, and then take out that 91 level from the 4-hour chart that I've mentioned a number of times here. And I think we can then say that we have got a confirmed bottom in the US dollar, but not until that 91 goes. Then conversely, euro, we're looking for confirmation of this 4 in place. And if I just come down to the 15-minute chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can squiggle down one step further to this 1618, and then we have the completed diagonal. If this is the low, these are the retrace fibs. So again, providing the dollar plays out, then this will play out, and I'd look then for the short position in the euro. Cable, same thing, looking for the 4 and the 5 to have started. And if I come down to the 15-minute chart, unfortunately, we did invalidate the impulse today, but it leaves the ABC 1, 2, ABC 3 into the 123.6, ABC 4 into the 50%, or that can be A of 4, we get a B, C up to one of these two fibs up here. But we need to then see a lower low to at least the 138.2, but having hit the 123.6, we should hit the 1618 here for a completed 5 down in cable. And then we can short the retrace in cable. US dollar, Japanese yen, we're looking for this low to be confirmed and move up here. This was the trade entry. We took it with an ETF, by the way, and I'll ping the name of that ETF on the forum with the yen posts tomorrow, because it's gentler than doing it with spread bets or futures, and it's messing us around. So we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I think that's an ABC for the 2 back. I think that's another diagonal up and another 2 back, but we needed to hold 108.29. Break that, and we're back to that 108. Can't remember. Here, 108.13 on this chart as the fib of last resort. Take that out and something else is going on, and I will take the long position in this pair off the table. Bitcoin. So daily chart, I think the bottom of this A is in, and we're in this B wave here of a 4. There's the hit on the 1764 for the completed diagonal down for the A wave. The B, it's going to be messy. It's a B and a 4th. But at the moment, if you look at the hourly chart, we're still meandering slowly upwards. Ideal target 12,565. Beyond that, 14,974. And then I think we should come down in Bitcoin to this area here at 2475 is what I'm looking for in Bitcoin to complete the 4. Let's have a look at what Ethereum's done today. Yeah, whoa. Again, this has continued to hold this 1.0 extension, so still looking up here in Ethereum as per previous updates. And Ripple, yeah, the 4 is holding. We've bounced nicely off it, but we need to get on with it. We should be going up to $13.50 in Ripple next. That's what I've got for this evening. Be careful out there. Usual thing tomorrow, so DAX and FTSE in the morning, and see the rest of you in the live room tomorrow afternoon.